Hello everyone. Welcome to Reboot and Rise with MLR. Now we know how to write a simple Java program, comments, and declare a variable inside a Java program. Let's talk about the next building block in Java. Think of it like this. You are building a Java software application, and inside it you may write lot of Java programs, lot of variables, methods, classes, and many more, right? So assume like these are the programs that we are writing, and then we are going to write some variables here, and then we are going to write some methods here similarly. So how do we invoke these methods or these variables? If I want to invoke these variables here, or if I want to invoke these variables here, if I want to call these variables, so how do we invoke these methods or access these variables, or how do we tell the difference between this class and this class, or these variables? Now let's take a real life example. Imagine like you are in a room of full of people, and if you want to call someone and refer them, what do? You use their name, right? So names helps us identify and communicate with people. In the same way, when writing Java code, you need to give a name for each, for this class, for this variable, for this method, to refer them correctly wherever you need later part. Assume if you are writing a program for online e-com system, you might have something called as a product, some class called as a product, and a category and item, and then you have something called as a price, discount, and item name. All these names are called as identifiers. All these names called as identifiers. So using identifiers or using these names, we can able to identify this is a product, this is a category, and this is item, or this is a price variable, and this is a discount variable. So that's where an identifier is the name that you give it to a class, or you give it to a variable, or you give it a method, or any user defined element within your program. Okay. And remember, when we are giving a names, we need to follow some rules. Similarly, like how we follow rules, right? We can't give simply a name like at the rate 123 to our child, right? Or child at the rate 123. No, right? So we follow some rules. Similarly, when we are giving these names to this class or to these variables or to these methods, we need to follow some rules. Let's understand what are the rules that we need to follow when we are giving a name or when we are writing an identifier in the Java program. So when I say identifier, that is nothing but the names that we are giving to our Java programs or variables or methods or any other user defined element in our program. Let's understand the rules now. So an identifier must begin with a letter, that is like A to Z, either capital or small, an underscore or a dollar sign. And it cannot start with a digit. So it means like I can write a class name called as a product category because it's starting with A to Z or A to Z. And it cannot start something like a to product. As per the second rule, no, we cannot write with a number first. But it can start with a letter, or it can start with a underscore, or it can start with dollar sign. And after the first character, you can use letters, digit, underscore, and dollar sign. Example, if I want to write max underscore total, yes, I can write something like this. I can use underscore or something else. Next, no special characters, like we cannot use at the rate, hash, and those special characters we cannot use when we are writing a names or when we are giving a name to our class or variables or method names or interfaces. Java is a case sensitive. What does that mean is when I say like price with a small letter and I say price, assume like these two are variables I'm writing, one with the capital P, other one with the small p. These two will be treated as two different identifiers or two different variables. So that is the case sensitive means. And do we have any limit when we are giving a name to a identifier? No, there is no limit, but best practice is like just to give a meaningful name and not too big name like, okay. So if you give too big name, it will be difficult to call or it will be difficult to invoke later part or it will be difficult to manage your code. And the final rule is Java keywords, we cannot use them as identifier. Example, we have seen some keywords like a class, public, static. So those, I mean, like this, we have a 50 keywords. I mean, the whole Java language has a 50 keywords. So we cannot use any of those 50 keywords as our identifiers, as a class name or class name or method name or variable name or interface name, any of those user defined identifiers. No, we cannot use this one. Example, if we say like, can I write class and my class name is public? No. Since this is a keyword, you cannot use it as a program name. Or can I write it as like int static? Like, can I define a variable as a static and which is integer? No, you cannot because static is a keyword. Okay. So these are the rules that you must follow when you are writing or when you are giving a name to your program name, method name, variable name, interface, or any other things. Okay. Now keywords. As we discussed earlier, like Java is a programming language and this language has just 50 words and we call them as keywords. And these are the keywords that we have in Java language like abstract, asset, boolean, break, byte, catch, like that. So we have a 50 keywords. So going forward, we will talk about this each keyword. So we'll take a topic and we will understand like what exactly the topic is and which keyword we can use in the topic and understand the what exactly the meaning and how do we write those keywords in order to make sure like the statement works properly. Okay. So that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep learning, keep coding. Thank you.